Nidhi, like always, a pleasure. Whenever I sit down with you, I feel a little odd because this conference is managed and run by you and the board of IIT Bay Area alumni. And it's always, how should I say, gratifying towards the end when I look at the attendance, the kind of content you guys build, and obviously a huge database of volunteers. So this year, the topic is decoding the future. And this is something you had thought about a year back and build this content, and it's great content, and you can see your customers are the validation for you. So off the bat, let me ask you the theme and what went into building this theme.
Thank you, Mateen. And again, it's a pleasure to be in conversation with you every time. So decoding the future is, again, in a very simple terms, go look into the future and see what it's going to look like. I'm firm believer in in proactive approach. So what it means is that can we be proactive about thinking about our future, right? So go look into think about the future and see what you want to build, right? And be proactive about now thinking about that in present and use the learnings from tomorrow, today. And as I was mentioning in my note in the morning as well, right, that we always had the wisdom that we gain over the years, right? And we have wisdom of that we get in multiple conversations, right? Here or in general otherwise, right? We also have technology at our hand where we are more enabled to try out and see what it's going to be if I did something, right? And it goes even beyond technology, that even in our personal life, as growing as a person, right? We can think more and be more mindful of the things that we do. So I think it's knowing what the consequence is going to be and doing better now. That's what it is about.
So you're looking at presenting technology in a more holistic way, especially with the advent of AI and Gen AI. There's always this concern about misuse or abuse of technologies, and that has been a good focal point this year. We had some speakers who were focused on that, and people love that about the content. So some thoughts on the ethical building of AI technologies.
No, absolutely. And see, I think every time you bring a new technology, right, there is always two sides of the coins, right? So now AI is everywhere. As I was saying, that AI is actually a horizontal. It doesn't matter whether you are in a financial industry or health tech industry, you are going to come across this technology because, again, this technology is consumed by humans, right? That one of the keynote speakers was saying that technology is first consumed by human before it comes to enterprise. So you already know that this technology is in front of human. So you have that factor in place. Now, how do we make sure that we bring security as well? We want industry today to use the data. We want industry today to use the new technology. How do you do that securely and safely? So I think it's a very, very important aspect. And me coming from cybersecurity industry, I think it's I understand it more deeply. So anytime I have multiple conversations here with people who are building companies, right? And anytime I hear a new idea or innovation that they're working on this SaaS product, right? So it comes to my mind, okay, so new technology, there is going to be a place, if we are thinking about it so much ahead of time, probably attackers are as well, right? So it's how can we match that pace and get ahead of them, right? So security is one of the big aspects there. Yeah.
So when it comes to building a conference and running the organization, obviously it's a volunteer-driven organization, although it is alumni-focused. But there is always the aspirations and the goals, but there are also challenges along the way. So we sometimes tend not to achieve our own goals that we set for us. So those are learnings for us that we can learn ourselves and pass it on to other people. So it's been good to learn from you. What do you think that you set up and the team around you set up to achieve, and somehow you couldn't achieve it, but maybe something better have happened, and we can look for that in the future also to improve?
Yeah, I'd say running a non-profit organization is very much like running a startup. See, because there are goals, there are business. I mean, we serve the community, but we are at the center of it to make it happen. So there is always goals, there's metric, there is timeline that we are watching, right? So many things we have done great year over year, right? We have built multiple segments. As you know, one of the segment, women's segment, we have great session last year, and I think it's evolving overall, not just as a segment here, but overall in community, right? So we are doing great job there, which a segment that we started last year received very well. So as a good decision maker, you'll repeat what you did, right? There are few things that which are on our roadmap that we want to do better, right? So I do want. See, with the women's event, we took out we brought the equality of men and women equal, right? That's the goal. I also want to reduce that inequality, or in our mindset that you have to. It's tied to somewhat to an age group. It is not. I think the young generation today is very, very much capable, right? And I think they should get front and center to leading it. Again, proactive approach. I would want them to be on the front line and be enabled, right? This is something I thought we'd go fast forward in, but I think we still need to get there. We're still working on it. This is something that's still on the roadmap, just like roadmap in any organization. So, and the reason for that is that whatever we are doing, we need to put more efforts in that. Yes? There's a resource, there is funds, there are decision-making process, right? So we are still, at this point, what we realize that this still makes more sense to put our efforts into what we are doing and incorporate young generation into exactly what we are doing right now. For example, women entrepreneurship, right? So we would want to have more young girls showing up there as well and listening. So it's more of implicit that we have that participation, but I still want it to be more front and center, which we have not been able to do. So that's definitely in my eyes right now, but working towards it.
No, it's important to learn those lessons. And like, you said, this is a non-profit organization. All this focus on technology and women leadership and entrepreneurship. Sometimes at the end of the day, you feel it's a thankless job, but it has to be done. So you and the entire board are doing a fabulous job along with the huge group of volunteers. So again, on my behalf and for all the attendees who have come here today, I think they all enjoyed. So thank you for a great show.
Thank you so much, Mateen. Your support is amazing. So we rely on you. Thanks a lot.